Hello everyone, in today's videos we are going to discuss with regard to the tax implications on virtual digital asset. If you hear the name virtual digital asset, that is VDA in short, you may not be familiar with that name, but if you hear the name, you hear the word that is Bitcoin, then you might be familiar with that name. Till Finance Act 2022, it was in a confusing mode, that is whether tax is implications or tax is implied on a sale or transfer of a Bitcoin or not. But from Finance Act 2022, our finance minister, that is Nirmala ji, has introduced a new tax regime on the sale or a transfer of a Bitcoin, that is collectively called VDA, that is virtual digital assets. In today's video, we are going to discuss with regard to the tax implications on virtual digital asset. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and please subscribe to my channel if you had not made the same, and please like and share this video if you like the same. And we'll going to start the today's sessions. Welcome. First of all, sir, what do you mean by VDA? Sir, you're telling for several times that is VDA, VDA, VDA. Sir, what do you mean by VDA, virtual digital asset? Is there any definitions clearly mentioned with regard to the VDA? Yes, our Income Tax Act 1961 under Section 247A, it is clearly mentioned that any information or code, please remember, any information or code or number or token generated through cryptographic means that information or code can be stored in cryptographically, that is a database, that is like a blockchain technology, by whatever name called. If you name it as an information or code or token, by whatever name called, providing a digital representation of value exchanged. It represent in a digitally mode, with or without consideration, with the promise or representation of having inherent value. It consists of inherent value or functions as a store of value or a unit of account, including its use in any financial transactions or investment, but not limited to investment scheme, can be transferred, stored, traded electronically. In simply, it is an information, code, number or a token by whatever name called, generated through cryptographic means. It can be stored in a blockchain technology that can be transferred, stored, traded electronically. It is not simply limited to investment scheme. It can be traded also, it can be transferred also. It can be through electronic mode. That's important. That is the first part of our definition. Second, a non-fungible token or any other token of a similar nature by whatever name called. So what do you mean by non-fungible token? I will explain a little bit later with regard to this definition, but in brief I will explain. Someone is, for example, a non-fungible token is a digital art created by someone who has an ownership on that, like a copyright, etc. If you see here, this one picture is there. Actually, it is a clear-cut example for digital art that owner has a specific ownership on that. If he wants to sell that ownership to any other else, this is also called a VD because it is a digital art, non-fungible token. Third, any other digital asset as the central government may or by notification and official gazette in future. If central government may specifically mention some other assets should be fallen under this digital asset, this can be also form the part of VDA. These are the three major category of the VDA. First one, any information that can be stored or traded electronically through cryptographic means. It is not limited to investment scheme. Second, non-fungible token or any other token of similar nature. I have already explained digital art. Third, any other asset as central government may specify in the upcoming days. Next topic, very important topic, taxation on VDA. In today's session, we are going to discuss the main on this topic only, that is taxation on VDA. Under Section 115 BBH of Income Tax 1961, it is clearly mentioned that tax is implied on VDA, transfer of VDA. Please remember, it is applicable from Finance Act 2022. It has been approved under Finance Act 2022. As a result, it is applicable from Finance Act 2020, financial year 2022 and 23. It is April 2022. It will be applicable related to assessment year 23-24. Please remember. Sir, what is the tax rate? Before introducing this scheme, many tax practitioners and chartered accountants had the opinion that tax rate will be 30%. Why? Because it is similar to our casual income. If you see the casual income tax rate under income from house property, income from other sources, the tax rate is 30%. Okay. The similarly, our tax practitioners had the view that the tax rate will be 30%. Accordingly, Finance Act 2022, it is clearly mentioned that where the total income of an SSE includes any income from the transfer of any VDA shall be taxed at 30%. Please remember 30% plus cess 4%. It is normal on every income. For example, if your shared consideration is 1 lakh, if your cost of acquisition is 50,000, net consideration is 50,000. 1 lakh minus 50,000 is 50,000. On that 31.2%, that is 30% plus 4%, effectively 31.2% is a tax rate leviable on 50,000. Flat rate. However, no benefits can be allowed for the SSE seller. If a seller makes a transfer of any VDA, he will not be allowed to for the following benefits. No deduction in respect of any expenditures except its cost of acquisition. I have already explained through the examples. Sale is 1 lakh. Let me take another example. Sale is 2 lakh. Cost of acquisition is 1 lakh. And net consideration is 1 lakh. That cost of acquisition can be claimed as a deductions. That is net consideration 1 lakh on that 31.2%. That is around 31,200. That's a tax amount on the transfer of VDA that SSE seller should pay to the Indian government. No other deductions can be claimed as an expenditures. For example, foreign exchange fluctuation expenses. Second, brokerage expenses, commission expenses. These expenditures cannot be claimed as an expenditure. Please remember that. No benefit will be given to the expenditure except its cost of acquisition. Second, no set-off of any loss shall be allowed. For example, if you have an income under VDA, that is virtual digital asset, let's say 1 lakh in our example. If you have the loss from house property, that loss cannot be set off against this income. Flat 30% you should pay plus 4%. No set off of any loss cannot be set off under this head from any other heads of income. Next, no loss shall be carried forward. In this year, if you incur any loss from transfer of VDA, that loss cannot be carried forward to the next year also. Apart from this, if you incur any loss from house property head, that loss can be carried forward to the next 8 consecutive years. But in this head, if you incur any loss from VDA, that loss cannot be carried forward to the next year. It is lapsed. Simply it is lapsed. These 3 benefits will not be given to the SSE seller if we make a transactions under VDA. Next, taxation on VDA will continue further. TDS under section 194S. In order to widen the tax base from the transactions so carried out in relation to these assets, it is proposed to insert section 194S under TDS with the effect from 1st July 2022. Because 115 BBH is applicable from April 2022, TDS is applicable from 1st July 2022 to provide for deductions of tax on payment for transfer of VDA to a resident. Please remember resident. At the rate of 1% of such a payment. If a seller wants to make the payment to the, if a buyer wants to make the payment to the seller who should be a resident, then that buyer should deduct the tax at the rate of 1% and then make payment to the resident. But 194S will not be applicable if a payment made by the buyer Being a specified person, that payment does not exceed 50,000 only in case of buyer should be a specified persons. Sir, what who are come under specified person? We'll discuss in the next slide. Please remember, specified person makes a payment to the seller resident which is not exceeding 50,000 amount, then TDS of 194S will not be applicable. Other than specified person who is a buyer of a VDA makes a payment does not exceed 10,000, then TDS under section 194S will not be applicable. Remember, simply it is a simple provisions. These are all the tax implication. Next we will go into some important topics coming under, that is VDA. First one, that is specified persons. I have already discussed it with regard to if a buyer who is a specified person does not make a payment exceeding 50,000, 194S will not be applicable. Exceeding 50,000, 194S under section 194S at the rate of 1% will be applicable. Specified person means individual or HUF, only individual or HUF having total assets, gross receipts or turnover does not exceed 1 crore in case of business, 50 lakh in case of professionals in a last financial year, that is 21-22, does not exceed 1 crore in case of business, does not exceed 50 lakh in case of professional income. Second, individual or HUF, only it is talking about individual or HUF not having a business or professional income. Any other head of income, he is having an income under any head of income, salary income, income from house property, then capital gain, then income from house, income from other sources. These are all categories. These are persons are classified as specified persons. Okay. Next important point. Under income from house, income from other sources. If you receive any gift from non-relative in exceeding with the 50,000, tax is leviable under normal slab rate under the head of income from other sources. The similar nature will be applicable to the VDA also. If you receive the gift from in the form of VDA from the non-relative under section 56 exceeding 50,000, then tax is leviable at the rate of normal slab rate, that is 5%, 20%, 30% similarly. Shall be taxable only under income from other sources, not under, that is business income, not taxable at the rate of 30% plus 4%. It is similar to the other income from other sources like gift received from any others non-relative exceeding rupees 50,000 will be taxable under income from other sources. Okay. Then next, non-fungible token. I already explained in our definition part. Non-fungible token, that is small and doll is coming at the right hand top corner. Non-fungible token, it is a digital art. Is for example piece of digital art stored in a blockchain technology. That seller has an ownership on that. If he wants to sell that ownership to any other else, that's also considered as a transfer of that VDA. On that also 30% plus 4% tax rate will be applicable. That is effectively 31.2% will be the tax rate on the transfer of that non-fungible token also. So this is a brief explanations with regard to the tax implications on VDA. If you like the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share to the so many users and please like the button, like the icon, so that I will also be encouraged to make more videos like this. If you have any queries with regard to these tax implications on VDA, please write on the comment sections. I will try to resolve the same at the earliest. And thank you for watching this till the end.